What if I told you a car was built to be too extreme, so extreme that it nearly broke its maker? Shocked skeptics and still reigns as a forbidden legend? This is the story of the McLaren 765LT supercar born from the brink, forged in defiance and whispered in collector circles. Stay with me, because what comes next might change how you see speed forever. Asterisk, there are supercars, and then there is obsession made manifest. The McLaren 765LT isn't just a car, it's a statement. A challenge to the laws of performance and restraint. Imagine engineers pushing metallurgy, aerodynamics, and human ambition to the very edge, crafting something that few dared to dream. Today, we journey through sweat, risk, triumph, and controversy, tracing how this machine was born, almost derailed, and ultimately immortalized. Asterisk, the long-tail tradition and McLaren's ambition. McLaren has a storied tradition of long-tail LT cars, supercars trimmed, sharpened, stripped of excess, aimed for the purest performance. The name Longtail itself is a throwback to racing modifications of the 1990s, where extended tails and aerodynamic tweaks ruled circuits. By the late 2010s, McLaren was facing fierce pressure, not just from rivals like Ferrari or Lamborghini, but from internal critics. Could McLaren maintain its reputation for radical performance without losing balance or alienating buyers? The answer lay in pushing further, daring even the brand's own engineers might balk. Conception and purpose. In 2019, McLaren revealed its plan: build a 765 horsepower version of the already brutal 720S. But go lighter, sharper, more extreme. The aim was audacious. Take what worked, then tear it apart and rebuild it for obsession. It demanded sacrifices, comfort, usability, profit margins. But McLaren saw opportunity. To cement its legacy among ultra-elite hypercar makers, the 765LT would not be mass market. Only a few hundred units would be made worldwide. Every gram, every inch, every curve was deliberate. In design rooms, the debate raged: which parts to delete, which to reinforce, which to risk. Era and challenges. At the time, the automotive world was pivoting. Electrification whispers were growing louder, emission laws tightening, and customers demanding more usability. Building a car like 765LT Extreme Raw felt like swimming against the tide. But that is precisely what gives legends their weight. When it debuted in 2020, the world was already uneasy. Pandemic, economic uncertainty, shifting tastes. Yet McLaren pushed on, a small, bold arrow in a shifting wind. Power and performance. Under the hood roars a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8, tuned to produce roughly 755 horsepower and 800 newton-meters of torque. But numbers only scratch the surface. This engine's soul is in its revs, its responsiveness, its ferocity, paired with a lightning-fast 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox and rear-wheel drive. The 765LT rockets 100 kilometers per hour in about 2.8 seconds, and tears to a top speed north of 325 kilometers per hour. But the real magic is in its power-to-weight ratio. By shedding weight, forging lighter carbon fiber, removing redundancy, optimizing structure, McLaren achieved an almost surgical precision. The result: a car that feels alive. Every throttle input a conversation between man and machine, aerodynamics and design. The Longtail moniker isn't just rhetorical. The body is elongated, sculpted to slice air, with dramatic front splitters, side blades, rear wing, and diffuser. Each element tuned by real-world wind tunnel and track data. Downforce is maximized without sacrificing too much drag. The front vents, roof scoop, side intakes all contribute to balanced aerodynamic grip. Visually, the car is stripped, muscular, a sculpture of function. The louvered rear section, exposed carbon fiber. Subtle vents, they all whisper, no fluff, all fight. Chassis. Suspension and tires. The 765LT rides on a bespoke carbon fiber monocoque, reinforcing rigidity and reducing flex. The suspension is race-derived, adaptive dampers, anti-roll systems, track-focused geometry. Tires are ultra-soft. Sticky rubber designed to bite tarmac through corners you didn't think possible. Steering is razor-sharp. Braking system monstrous carbon ceramic discs with immense bite. Able to scrub speed from screaming pace to 0 in heartbeat. Interior and experience inside. The cabin is stripped, but purposeful. Alcantara, exposed carbon fiber, minimal insulation. But there are still comfort touches for the privileged few who drive them. The sense is brutal honesty. The car tells you when you're slow, when you're late. When you Every control feels tactile, mechanical. The shift paddles, the steering wheel, the feedback you feel alive. This is not a GT for comfortable grand touring. This is a weapon for drivers. Pop culture and appearances, the 765LT has made cameo appearances in high-end racing games Forza. Assetto Corsa, showcasing its digital twin to millions. It's been featured in automotive reviews, documentaries, and even some music videos as symbol of ultimate speed. In car culture circles, owning one is nearly ritual, a badge of passion, wealth, and bravery. Influence on later models, McLaren's later models, the Artura. Future LT variants carry the echoes of 765LT's courage. Engineers no longer ask, can we make this lighter? They assume it and ask, how far can we push? The 765LT became a proof of concept that extreme performance can still reach limited buyers, and that brand identity can live on pushing the edge. Design houses and rival automakers also felt the pressure. If McLaren could build something this raw in the 2020s, what else was possible? In that sense, 765LT tore open possibility windows at a time the industry was shifting. The today and why. The today in garages with climate control. 765LTs rest among hypercars, polished to perfection, yet rarely driven to full capacity. Some track owners do push them, extracting every last ounce of performance. On auctions, values sometimes rise above original MSRP. It's not just a car, it's a piece of automotive lore. Will it someday be a legend whispered by grandchildren of car geeks? Very likely. Because extreme cars tend to fade from mass use, but live in stories, in videos, in museum halls. The McLaren 765LT is already in that space. At its heart, the McLaren 765LT is a paradox. Brutal, yet beautiful, uncompromising, yet admired. It embodies what happens when humans refuse comfort, when engineers chase obsession, when risk and art collide on four wheels. It reminds us greatness often demands sacrifice, friction, even controversy. It teaches that legends are not born from caution, but from daring. So here's my question for you. If you could drive one hypercar, but you knew it would test your nerves, your body, your will, would you choose the 765LT? Or would you pick something more forgiving? Drop your answer in the comments. If this story moved you, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and stay with me, because next time we'll unravel the dark saga of the Ferrari F50, ambition, danger, and the price of legacy. Until then, may your roads be open and your dreams fearless.